Greetings, I'm Professor Hobo and welcome to another HOBOTECH double-fisted bang, bang product review. We don't have just one refrigerator to review today, but we have two refrigerators to review today. Moo, That's right, we have two refrigerators today to review at the same time from BougeRV. One is the smaller 23 quart, the other is the larger 30 quart. Both refrigerators are virtually the same price, but do they perform differently? Let's find out. So, what comes in the box? Oops, I guess I better take the stuff out of the box. So here's what's in the box. You get a 12 volt, very long, in fact, 12 volt refrigerator adapter plug. It took me a little while to figure out what these were. These are extra feet for the bottom of the refrigerator in case you peel some off or lose some. Of course, you get the manual, and then you get the AC adapter for the refrigerator so you can run it from AC power. So this manual covers both models, although it says 25 quart instead of 23 quart. It does say here in the book you can upgrade your refrigerator warranty to 3 years. That is pretty cool. Not too many of these cheaper refrigerators give you a 3-year warranty. They give you some schematics. Here's the important stuff, the stuff about the high, medium, and low battery settings. So it will run all the way down to 9.6 volts and then turn off if you have it on low mode. Here are some operation suggestions. Tea in the car refrigerator has been effective preservation. During self-driving tour, you can drink fresh and delicious tea at any time. Probably the most important tip here, high-grade sunglasses coating will be off under the summer high temperature, and the car refrigerator is an ideal place to place it. I think they're telling you to put your sunglasses in the refrigerator. That's all she wrote. And do note that both refrigerators come with identical stocking stuffers. So what I just showed you applies to both refrigerators. Now both refrigerators are virtually identical, but there are a few differences. Let's go ahead and review them, starting with the BougeRV 23 quart, which is the smaller of the two. So for a lower priced refrigerator, the build quality is pretty good. This is pretty much all ABS plastic all the way around. Now the lid is held magnetically. You can actually see it's pulling itself shut. So pretty cool design. It uses magnets, and I'm using 2 fingers here, and it does take quite a bit of force to overcome the magnets. So we'll hold the lid shut. Now there is no clasp or anything that actually holds the door shut, like physically, but the magnets are pretty strong. You have this chain in here to prevent you from ripping the door off by accident, but you can actually take the door off on this if you wanted to for some reason. Now, like a lot of the lesser expensive refrigerators, there is only one input on this. It is basically DC only, and it says 1224 volts, so you have to use the adapter for a cigarette lighter or a separate cable for AC power. In this case, we'll plug it into a jackery, and I'll show you how the controls work. So here are the basic controls. Now, they do include a USB port on the top in case you want to, I guess, charge your phone while you're having a beer. The settings button allows you to go through the different settings, such as Eco and Max mode. The plus and minus will set the temperature, and we'll show you this goes all the way down to -8 Fahrenheit. Of course, this is the on and off power button, so if you hold that down, it will power off the refrigerator. So if you hold down the gear button for a few seconds, it takes you through the different options. This is the low, medium, and high for battery protection, and the display tells you the input voltage as well as the current temperature of the refrigerator. Now, one of the differences between the small fridge and a large fridge is that the inside has this sort of aluminum going all the way around, where I'll show you the larger refrigerator has a plastic inside and a separator. This has no separator. As you can see, you have about 14 inches by about 10 inches on the inside, and only about 10 inches high. So depends on what you put in there. Now, I don't drink soda, I don't drink milk, I do drink iced tea. This actually isn't going to close with my iced tea in there, so I'm going to assume this is about the same height as a 2-liter bottle. You'd have to put it in there on its side in order for it to work. This is one difference between the small one and the big one. Both refrigerators have these built-in plastic handles which can't be removed, but they are at least flush, so you don't have to worry about them sticking out too far. Do take note that the ventilation is all on this one side where you plug it in. The other side has no ventilation on it. So if you're trying to plan out a van or RV or trailer build, you can stick this side up against the wall and you don't have to worry about the ventilation. The 23 quart BougeRV fridge is 22 inches long by 12 inches wide by 13 inches high and weighs in at only 22 pounds. It's very lightweight. And the BougeRV 30 quart fridge is 23 inches longer, so it's 1 inch longer. It's 13 inches wide and 16 inches high, so it's actually 3 inches taller than the smaller version. So this only weighs 23 pounds, or only 1 pound more than the 23 quart version. Build quality for the 30 quart is identical to the 23 quart. It's just larger. It's made from the same materials, ABS plastic, pretty strong stuff. It has the same magnetic lid as the 23 quart. It has the same chain holding the door. Again, the door is removable if necessary. It does have a seal around the door. But here's where things are a little different. First, the 30 quart comes with this plastic divider, which obviously you can remove. And the inside is not aluminum, but plastic. Now, that's probably gonna make it easier to clean. They probably had to put a plastic coating on this in order to have this slide into it. Now for inside dimensions, you have 14 inches usable by 10 inches, so pretty much the same as the other one. But the difference here is that you have at least a foot inside that is now usable. Does it pass the iced tea test? Oh yeah, no problem. So this is better for 2-liter bottles of water or gallons of milk that might be taller. And besides this cool metal bending around the outside that says BougeRV, it's virtually identical to the smaller 23 quart. In fact, all the controls and everything are exactly the same, so I won't bother going over that a second time. So as part of the double-fisted review, I'm gonna test both of these refrigerators at the same time. Now I have 2 jack arrays powering them with 2 gauges to measure the amount of power they're gonna use. First test, of course, is gonna be to see how long it takes for them to get to 32 degrees, then how long it takes for them to get to 0 degrees, how much power is it gonna take to do that for each refrigerator. So this one's the 23, this one's the 30. So this one's slightly bigger. We're gonna have to maybe expect this will take a little bit more power, take a little bit longer. But I don't know, it's the first time I've done it. Let's find out. So let's show you how we got this set up. So I got one jackery here with a meter that'll tell us the amount of power used. And we have another jackery here that's gonna tell us the amount of power used for this refrigerator. So this is the 23, this is the 30. So let's go ahead and kick them both on at the same time. So they are both 62 degrees starting temperature. They're both set to 32 degrees, low on max mode. So let's go ahead and start the timer. So place your bets as to which one's gonna hit freezing first, the 23 or the 30.
A few moments later.
Okay, we have a winner. And if you guessed the 23 quart, you're absolutely wrong. Actually, it's the 30 quart that reached 32 degrees first. The other one is still going. And because the other one's still going, the stopwatch is still going. But the 30 quart actually stopped in 21 minutes. It looks like this one's gonna be stopping any second now. And there we go. You guys saw it happen live. The smaller refrigerator actually stopped in 23 minutes. Now I know it's a little bit strange. The larger refrigerator actually cooled down faster, and I'm pretty sure these both have the same compressor in it. They both started at exactly the same temperature. They were pulling exactly the same watts, and they were running the exact same volts off of 2 jackeries. So if you guys can figure it out, put it in the comments. But so far, the 30 quart has won. So how much power did it take the 23 quart to get down to freezing? 1.28 amp hours or 16 watt hours. And as for the 30 quart, 1.18 amp hours at 15.4 watt hours, so pretty much the same. So next step is going to be to put them both at 0 degrees Fahrenheit, restart the counter, and we'll go ahead and see how much power they used. Okay, let's go ahead and set it down to 0 degrees. And same with this one. Now let's go ahead and restart the clock. So here's your chance to place your bets again. Which one is going to hit 0 degrees Fahrenheit first? The smaller 23 quart or the larger 30 quart?
Meanwhile,
we're back. Place your bets. Which one of these shut down first at 0 degrees? Well, you'd be surprised because this one actually shut off first, and then this one ran for about a minute longer. Both very impressive when it comes to the amount of time it took to get from room temperature down to 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's check out the time and how much power it took. It only took 47 minutes. Now the larger refrigerator shut off about a minute before that, so roughly 45 minutes or so. So we'll start with the 30 quarts, 2.4 amp hours or 31 watt hours. So now over to the 23. This one took 2.5 amp hours or 32 watt hours. So that's no real shocker. They both are similar size, probably have identical compressors in them. They cool down almost exactly the same time. They're going to use pretty much identical energy. So for our final test, we're going to warm them both back up to 32 degrees. We're going to put a 6-pack of beer in each one, let it run overnight, see how much power each one uses. Now, they may or may not be identical because you do have a larger space to keep cool over a longer period of time. So I'll be curious to see what the results are of this test. So here's a step I typically don't cover. Both refrigerators right now are set to 32 degrees. They both have equal contents inside. They're both set to eco mode. So they're ready for testing. However, I've been questioned a few times about my procedures. Now, what I do is I let this refrigerator sit for at least 3 hours, if not 4 hours, with the contents inside so that everything is at the same temperature before I start measuring any power consumption. So for the big fridge, I have this sort of 6-pack of beer. I didn't have enough beer, so I put some water in there to substitute the amount of volume that you typically have. So I have that on one side. I am leaving this barrier in here. And then in the small fridge, again, I also have a 6-pack in here, substitute a little bit of things in there, but it's the same volume. And I'm putting that right in the center. And then this sits for 3 to 4 hours so that everything becomes the same temperature. Now, the beverages in here came out of another refrigerator, which is set pretty cold, but it's not set at 32 degrees. So that's why I'm going to let it sit for a few hours to get to the temperature of the refrigerators. Then we'll start our power tests. And we'll let it run at least 12 hours.
Day 2.
Greetings. We're back with the results after 12 hours of running both of these in eco mode with identical loads inside. So let's see how much power each one used. Place your bets. Is it the smaller fridge that used more power or the bigger fridge? So here's the results of the small fridge, 4.5 amp hours or 57 watt hours. Now you double those numbers, you get 9 amp hours or 113 watt hours. And here's the 30 quart. Let's look at those results. So 4.6 amp hours, 60 watt hours. So again, double those numbers, 9.2 amp hours or 120 watt hours. So the results are really no surprise. The larger refrigerator took slightly more power than the smaller refrigerator. Now, that affect your buying choice? It really shouldn't, because the amount of power difference between the two are almost within a margin of error of testing. So I would say that they both use pretty much the same power. That being said, 120 watt hours for a 24-hour period, I think beats all the records for any other refrigerators I've tested so far. Now, then again, these are the smallest refrigerator freezers I have tested yet, but those numbers are very impressive. So if you're looking for a small cooler, something that you don't need to be big, something you're just going to stick, under your bed or between the seats of your rig, one of these would be a really great choice because they sit power. I mean, you could literally run 2 full days on a Jackery 300 without even recharging it. That's a really long time to run a refrigerator off of a little battery like that. So if you're looking for high efficiency, this might be what you want. So what about noise? How loud is it? Well, let's find out. Here I'm testing about 1 meter away, and you'll see as I speak, the decibels go up. So this is usually about the distance where they measure decibels, so I'll be quiet. So about 53.5 decibels. Now these aren't the quietest refrigerators in the world, but what do you expect for the price? 53 decibels is still pretty quiet, and it's a pleasant sound. There's nothing high-pitched or abnormal or annoying about it. You pretty much forget it's going, so that's what you want out of a refrigerator. If every time it kicks on it makes a loud bang or it makes a whining noise and it drives you crazy, you obviously don't want that. And you get that a lot with the cheaper refrigerators. This is definitely on the less expensive side of refrigerators, and still it sounds pretty good. So to complete this double-fisted review, we also have a double deal on both of these refrigerators. In fact, we have a deal on all 3 BougeRV refrigerators, including the 53 quart model that I just reviewed last month. So if these 2 refrigerators are too small for your needs, you can look at my review for the large big brother to this one, the 53 quart BougeRV. That's $90 off right now with a special code, which is in the description. Also below in the description is a link to both of these refrigerators. I do have a special code that's going to knock a whole bunch of money off these refrigerators. So let's start with the small one. You can right now get the small refrigerator for only $192. That's under $200 for a good quality 12-volt compressor refrigerator freezer. Goes down to -8 Fahrenheit. That's pretty darn cold. And as you saw, these are very, very efficient refrigerators. You can run either one of these for 2 days off a Jackery 300. That's very impressive. Now the larger 30 quart's only a few bucks more. This one's going for $216 after HOBOTECH discount. Again, links for both is in the description along with the code to get the money off. Now, which one's better for your needs? I guess it depends on the space issues that you have. Obviously, the 30 quart's going to be a better option if you drink 2-liter bottles, gallons of milk, or need that extra height. The 23 quart's going to be better if you're in a small vehicle. If you're in a car or a hatchback or something small, this is actually probably going to be the better deal because not only is it a little bit cheaper, uses slightly less power, but it's more storable because it's shorter. You can fit more stuff on top of it or slip it into a place that's out of the way. Where the taller version might be a little bit awkward in a small car. Thanks for watching. If you learned something today, don't forget to give me a thumbs up below, and if you're not a subscriber already, you know what to do. That's it for now. Till next time.
Odin commands you to like and subscribe, and clean my litter box.
But wait, there's more. Now I know what you're saying. Professor Hobo, it's near Christmas time. I don't have money to spend on one of these refrigerators, even though they're only like $200. I just don't have the $200. Well, guess what? I got you covered, because today, on this video, HOBOTECH is giving away one of each of these refrigerators. You heard me right, we're gonna do a giveaway of one of each of the 23 quart and 30 quart refrigerators. All you have to do is leave a comment below in this video and in this video only that says BougeRV 23 if you're interested in the 23 quart, or BougeRV 30 if you're interested in the 30 quart. Now you can put just exactly that in the comment. You can make a funny sentence out of it. As long as it has the words BougeRV, now that's one word, BougeRV 23, and I'll put that below so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, or BougeRV 30 for the 30 quart. But no cheating, because we're only gonna have one winner on each of these. The same person is not gonna win both. So if you put BougeRV 23 and BougeRV 30 in a comment at the same time, you're gonna be disqualified. So pick one or the other that you prefer, write it in the comments, BougeRV 23 or BougeRV 30, and a week from today, we'll do a random drawing by computer to decide who is the winner. So it's that simple. Enter a comment below in this video, and a week from today, we'll draw 2 winners, one for each refrigerator. So let's do one without the double fist, the quadruple fist. Yeah, I don't think we need any quadruple fisting.
Art BougeRV Golf Guy, Z Foxfire, Jack Smith,